Please label your paper two-step equations 7EE4. The first set of directions is destroy the plus and minus first and the multiplication and division second. We're going to do the exact same thing that we did with the one-step equations, where we circle the variable, bring down the wall, and do the same operation on both sides. The major difference is that we have two different things going on the left-hand side. We have 3 times m, and we have plus 9. So the very first thing that we are going to do is we are going to rewrite it. So I'm going to write 3m plus 9 equals 33. And if you recall back to when you did order of operations, you did parentheses, exponents, multiplication or division, and then you did adding or subtracting. All right, we're used to doing it in the correct order of PEMDAS, but this time we're going to do it in the opposite. We're going to start at the bottom and go up. So, and how I kind of think of it is, if you think back to when you started school, what did you learn how to do first? You learned to add and subtract first. So that's where you're going to start. You're going to do the easy stuff first. So we're going to circle our variable, because we know that that's what we want to get by itself. We're trying to figure out what m is going to equal. Then we're going to bring down our wall and our equal sign. And then if we notice, what is the easiest thing to do? Multiply or add? We are going to start at the bottom of the PEMDAS. It says to add and subtract first, and so if we look at the left-hand side of our equation, it says plus 9. So we are going to do the inverse operation of addition, which is going to be subtraction. So I'm going to subtract 9 on both sides. And a positive 9 minus 9 is going to cancel out on the left-hand side. And when we subtract on the right-hand side, 33 minus 9 is going to give me 24. And then, so all I have left on the right-hand side, I'm going to bring over the 3m equals. All right, that tells me to multiply by 3, so we're going to do the inverse operation, and we're going to divide by 3 on both sides. 3 divided by 3 cancels out, which leaves me with 1. And then we know that 3 goes into 24 8 times. And that's my final answer. Can I go back and check it? Of course, and it's just like the original one-step equations. We can plug the 8 back in here where the 3m is at. So it would be 3 times 8, which would be 24, and 24 plus 9 will give me 33. And that's how we know it is correct. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and rewrite this problem. P divided by 5 minus 12 equals 20. And again, we're going to do PEMDAS backwards, so we're going to do the adding and subtracting first. Then we would do the multiplication or division next. And then the exponents in parentheses. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and circle the P because we want to get that by itself. We're going to bring down our wall. And we're going to look and find the very first thing we're going to do is we're going to add or subtract. It's telling me to subtract, so I'm going to add on both sides, 12. On the left-hand side, I know that negative 12 plus 12 cancels out, and it leaves me with P divided by 5 is equal to, and on the right-hand side, 12 plus 20 is going to give me 32. All right, if I go back over here, I'm going to circle my variable again. I'm going to go ahead and bring down my wall. This tells me P divided by 5, so I'm going to do the inverse operation, and I'm going to multiply both sides by 5. And I know that 5 divided by 5 is going to be 1, so that cancels each other out, and I'm left with P equals. And then 5 times 32 is going to give me 160. And I'm going to go ahead and box it in because that is my final answer. Okay, on this example, you're going to do the distributive property first before you start to undo. So you're going to follow the rainbow, as I like to say, and so you're going to take 3 times 4m, and 3 times 4 is 12. Bring your m over. And then you're going to do 3 times negative 9, and that's going to give you a negative 27 equals 21. And now I can get started undoing all of the things to try and figure out what m represents. So the first thing I'm going to do, it says to circle the variable. So I'm going to circle the variable, bring down my wall, and then think back to PEMDAS. We're going to do the opposite of PEMDAS. So we're going to do the adding and subtracting first. So it tells us to subtract, so the inverse of subtraction is to do addition. So we're going to add 27 on both sides. A negative 27 plus 27 cancels out, which leaves you with 12m equals, and then you have 21 plus 27, which gives you 48. Again, we're going to circle the variable because I want to get it by itself, bring down my wall, and this tells me to do 12 times m, so I'm going to do the opposite, and I'm going to divide by 12, and 12 divided by 12 cancels out, which leaves me with m. And 12 goes into 48 4 times. I'm going to go ahead and box that in. This last example, we are going to combine like terms first. If you notice that you have a 2x and a plus x, and remember, anytime you have variables that do not have a coefficient, and remember that's the number that is in front of the variable, you can go ahead and add a 1 in there. So I'm going to put a little 1 right in front of that variable, and I can go ahead and combine those. So I have 2x plus 1x, which is going to give me 3x, and then I can just bring the rest over because I don't have anything to combine with them. And then I'm going to solve this just like I've been solving. I'm going to circle my variable first, bring down my wall and my equal sign. Again, doing the opposite of PEMDAS, we're going to start at the bottom and go up. So I'm going to add and subtract first. So this tells me to subtract, so I'm going to add 27 to both sides. This cancels out, which leaves me with 3x equals, and then 3 plus 27 is going to be 30. Again, I am going to circle my variable, bring down my wall with my equal sign. I want to get x by itself, so that tells me 3 times x, so I'm going to divide both sides by 3. 3 cancels out, which leaves me with x, and 30 divided by 3 is 10. And I'm going to go ahead and box it in. Okay, here are a few problems to try on your own. Please make sure that you are undoing from the easiest thing first. Remember, you're going to do the adding and subtracting first, then the multiplication and division. Good luck, and please bring any questions that you have to class tomorrow.